Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome back to the deep dive. For many of us, anxiety. Well, that's a familiar feeling, isn't it? That constant worry, maybe racing thoughts, physical tension, that sense of unease you just can't shake.
It's incredibly common.
Exactly. So today, we're not just talking about anxiety. We're diving deep into something really practical, grounding techniques.
It's a fantastic topic.
This deep dive is all about giving you simple but really effective tools, things you can use to get back in control, find a bit of calm when life feels like it's just spinning. We want to go beyond the basics, look at how they work, and give you stuff you can use, well, pretty much anytime, anywhere.
And what's truly remarkable, I think, is just how accessible these tools are. I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit of anxiety can sometimes be helpful, sharpen focus.
Sure, like before a presentation.
Exactly. But when it's intense or just persistent,
Yeah.
it really starts to interfere with daily life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Affects well-being, relationships.
Definitely.
So grounding techniques, fundamentally, they're about bringing your attention right back here to the present moment. They work by engaging pathways that actually calm your nervous system down. You're giving your mind something real, something immediate to latch onto.
Like an anchor.
Precisely. It acts like a circuit breaker for that cycle of rumination, those thoughts that just go round and round.
Oh, yes.
Or it can help lessen panic symptoms, or even help you reconnect if you're feeling a bit dissociated, kind of detached from things.
Right, that feeling of being outside yourself almost. So the big question then, how do these things, which sound kind of simple, actually help us get a handle on things when our mind's going a mile a minute? Can you break down what's happening maybe physiologically?
Absolutely. At its core, grounding creates a stronger connection between your mind and your physical body.
Okay.
See, when anxiety spikes, we often get thrown into this hyper-alert state, right? Our thoughts can feel really detached from what's actually happening around.
Yeah, like you're lost in the what-ifs.
Exactly. So by deliberately shifting your focus away from those looping anxious thoughts, maybe onto a physical sensation, a sound, your breath, you're actively breaking that feedback loop.
Interrupting the spiral.
You got it. It's like cutting the power to that stressful circuit. And this is really crucial when you're dealing with, say, racing thoughts, or even a full-blown panic attack, or just intense emotional discomfort, moments where the mind feels totally overwhelmed.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just a mental trick. It's actually about physically re-anchoring yourself.
Precisely.
You mentioned shifting out of fight or flight. How does grounding manage that on a deeper level, maybe even neurologically?
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, grounding does way more than just offer temporary emotional relief. It triggers a real physiological shift.
How so?
When you engage in grounding, you're basically helping your body move out of that sympathetic nervous system, overdrive the fight or flight, and nudging it towards the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest system.
Right, the calming system.
Yes, and a key player here is the vagus nerve. Think of it like a superhighway connecting your brain to your major organs. When you stimulate it, say through controlled breathing or focusing on your senses, it signals this rest and digest system to kick in.
That's
It's like a physiological override telling your brain, hey, it's safe now. This helps relax muscles, slow your heart rate, and over time, consistently doing this redirecting focus, calming the body, helps you feel more connected, both to yourself and your surroundings. It fosters better mental health, less overall stress, and builds emotional resilience. It's like retraining your nervous system's default response.
That explanation, especially the vagal nerve part, really clarifies the depth of it. Okay, let's get practical then. Let's explore some techniques. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. One category that's super accessible uses our five senses.
Absolutely. The tools are always with you.
Right. The idea is elegant, isn't it? Anxiety pulls you into the future or the past, but your senses, they pull you right back to now. So how can someone start using these, especially if they're feeling anxious right at that moment?
Well, a crucial thing to understand is that our brain can only really process so much information at once.
Okay.
So by deliberately flooding it with sensory input from the present moment, you're essentially competing for its attention. You pull focus away from the limbic system, the emotional brain, dealing with fear and anxiety, and engage the prefrontal cortex, which handles more rational thought and present awareness.
So you're hijacking the system in a good way.
Kind of. It's a cognitive redirection. You're interrupting those anxious feedback loops between different brain areas. It creates this powerful, immediate connection to reality, which is incredibly effective for diffusing panic quickly or just regaining control when thoughts feel totally unmanageable.
A mental pattern interrupt using your surroundings. Okay, let's get specific. What are some really impactful ways to use our senses? Okay, let's try sight. You could name 5 different things you see right now, but don't just list them, really look at them. Notice the exact color of that mug, the texture of the wood grain on the table, how light hits the window. Get detailed.
The specificity is key.
Exactly. Then there's touch. Find something to hold, maybe a smooth stone, a cold glass of water, even just the fabric of your own clothes. Really focus on how it feels. Is it rough, smooth, warm, cold, heavy, light? That tangible feeling is super grounding.
Very direct.
For hearing, actively listen. Tune into the sounds around you that you usually filter out. Traffic outside, birds, the hum of your computer, your own breathing. Name each sound as you notice it.
Brings you right into the environment.
And smell can be incredibly powerful. Maybe keep something nearby, a small bottle of essential oil, some coffee beans, even a sprig of mint. Take a deep breath and focus only on that scent.
Scents have strong memory and emotional links, too.
Good point. And finally, taste. Try eating or drinking something slowly, paying full attention. Maybe a piece of dark chocolate, a strong mint, or a slice of lemon. Notice the flavor, the texture, how it changes as it melts or as you chew.
Really savoring it.
Those are great, really practical examples. It seems like the key is that deliberate, intentional focus. So beyond engaging the senses, what other ways can we directly influence our nervous system when anxiety flares up?
That brings us neatly to breathwork. This is probably one of the most direct routes to regulating your nervous system.
Right, breathing exercises.
Yeah, and it's more than just getting oxygen. Controlled breathing is a direct signal to that vagus nerve we talked about, telling it to activate the rest and digest response.
Okay.
A really simple, effective one is box breathing. It's easy to remember. You picture a box.
4 sides.
Exactly. So you inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale slowly through your mouth for 4, and hold the breath out for 4.
Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Got it.
Repeat that cycle for maybe 2 to 4 minutes. That steady rhythm really helps calm the heart rate and relax your muscles.
It's amazing how something so simple can have such a powerful effect internally. Are there other breathing techniques maybe suited for different situations?
Oh, absolutely. For instance, there's 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale for 4, hold for 7, and then do a longer exhale for 8 counts.
7, hold, 8, exhale. Okay.
That longer exhale is particularly good for activating that calming response. Great for trying to sleep or during really high-stress moments.
Makes sense.
And there's diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing, focusing on breathing deep into your belly rather than shallow breaths from your chest. It's more efficient, gets more oxygen in, and has a more pronounced calming effect.
So different tools for different needs there, too.
Precisely. They all offer a direct way to regain some physiological control.
And often, anxiety isn't just in the head, right? It shows up physically. Like, I know my shoulders tense up.
Yeah.
Or maybe you clench your jaw without realizing it.
Very common.
That's where progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR, comes in, I guess. It
Yeah.
sounds like it tackles that physical tension head on.
Exactly right. What's fascinating about PMR is how it actively interrupts the physical side of anxiety. Anxiety primes our muscles for action, for that fight or flight, leading to all this unconscious tension.
Right.
PMR works by having you first deliberately tense a specific muscle group quite intensely for maybe 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay, like clenching your fist.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Then you consciously and completely release that tension. And crucially, you pay really close attention to the difference between the tension and the relaxation.
Ah, the contrast.
Yes, you work systematically through your body, maybe start at your toes and move up, or start at your head and move down. Tense, release, notice. Tense, release, notice.
Got it.
This deliberate contrast makes you much more aware of where you habitually hold tension, and importantly, it teaches you how to actively let it go. It's a very embodied somatic practice.
So it's not just about relaxing right then, but building body awareness over time?
That's a huge part of it. If we connect this to the bigger picture again, regular PMR practice helps you recognize and release tension much more quickly in your everyday life.
Before it escalates.
Exactly. It's incredibly helpful for winding down before sleep or after a stressful day, sure.
Yeah.
But it also builds that stronger mind-body connection so you catch tension earlier. Like any skill, you build it over time, reinforcing that message to your nervous system. I'm safe, I'm in control.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, sometimes maybe the mind just needs a gentle escape, or perhaps a physical technique isn't practical right then. That's where mental grounding comes in, using our thoughts to redirect focus.
Yes, and one intriguing thing about mental grounding is how useful it is when you can't easily move around or need to be subtle about it, like in a meeting or on public transport.
Right.
Visualization is a really powerful tool here. You can imagine your safe place.
Like a beach or a forest.
Could be anywhere that feels calm and safe to you. A beach, a forest, a cozy room from your childhood. The key is to picture it vividly. What do you see, hear, smell, feel? The more senses you engage mentally, the more effectively it pulls your mental energy away from the anxiety and toward that calming image.
Creating a mental sanctuary? I like that. What about more active mental tasks?
Those are great too for redirecting focus. Counting exercises work well. You could try counting backwards from 100, but maybe in steps of 3 or 7, something that requires a bit of concentration.
Makes it harder for anxious thoughts to butt in.
Precisely. Or challenge yourself to name things as many animals as you can think of, starting with B, or cities, or types of food. These tasks engage your brain's executive functions, offering a constructive distraction.
Yep.
Mantras or affirmations fit here too. Repeating a simple, calming phrase to yourself like, I am safe, or this feeling will pass, or I can handle this. That rhythmic repetition can be a strong mental anchor, helping to shift your internal self-talk.
Those sound really useful for managing the internal chatter. But what about that feeling anxiety can sometimes cause? Like you're disconnected from your body, almost like you're floating, or things don't feel real.
Yes, that sense of unreality or disconnection, dissociation. That's where physical grounding techniques become really vital.
To bring you back into your body, literally.
Exactly. It's about creating a tangible sensory link between your mind and your physical self, right here in your environment. These kinds of gestures are particularly helpful if you feel sort of frozen or lost in the moment. They give you a concrete reference point.
Okay, so what are some key ways to do that? To reconnect physically? Well, a really simple one is just press your feet firmly into the floor. Really feel the contact. Notice the pressure, the texture through your shoes, the solidness of the ground beneath you.
Very immediate.
Or you could try tapping. Gently tap your thighs or your chest in a steady rhythm, maybe in time with your breath. That repetitive physical sensation can really bring you back. Simple stretches work too. Roll your shoulders, stretch your arms overhead, maybe even just walk slowly for a minute, paying attention to how each footstep feels.
Re-engaging the body through movement.
Right. And sometimes holding something with a bit of weight can be helpful. A heavy book, a warm mug, even a weighted lap pad if you have one. That pressure can feel very reassuring, very anchoring.
Creates a strong physical sensation.
And for a quick reset, sometimes something sharp works, like clapping your hands once firmly or snapping your fingers. That sudden sound and sensation can just cut through the fog for a second.
A little jolt back to the present.
We've covered a lot of ground here. Senses, breath, muscles, mental tricks, physical anchors. It's quite a toolkit.
It really is.
But like any skill, these probably work best if you practice them, right? Not just pull them out in a crisis. So thinking long term, how do we make grounding a sustainable part of life?
That is absolutely the key for building long-term resilience. What's fascinating is that regular, consistent practice. It has really profound, measurable effects over time on your body and your mind.
Okay, tell me more. Physiologically.
Physiologically, people who practice regularly tend to show a lower resting heart rate, lower blood pressure. Their natural breathing pattern becomes slower and deeper, even when they're not actively doing an exercise.
Wow.
They generally have more relaxed muscle tone. And crucially, there's a reduction in the chronic release of stress hormones like cortisol. So it's not just about feeling calm in the moment, it's about re-regulating your whole baseline stress response.
That sounds genuinely transformative. And what about the psychological side, the mental benefits of practicing consistently?
Psychologically, we see things like a decrease in those intrusive thoughts or worries, definitely improved focus and mental clarity, a stronger sense of personal control over emotions, and just generally better emotional regulation skills. You're essentially training your brain and nervous system to recognize and interrupt those anxious patterns much more quickly, and to kind of default back to a calmer state more easily. It literally builds mental resilience, making you less vulnerable to anxiety overall and better equipped for future stress.
So it's like conditioning your system for calm. But okay, we've talked about so many different techniques. How does someone figure out where to even start? Which one is their method? It could feel a bit overwhelming.
That's a really important question, the personalization piece. My best advice is usually to start simple. Try just one technique at a time. Don't feel like you need to master everything at once.
Okay.
Pick one that sounds appealing or feels somewhat natural to you, and try it out when you're not highly anxious, just to get a feel for it.
Practice when calm.
Exactly. Then think about how your anxiety usually shows up. If it's very physical, racing heart, tight muscles, maybe start with sensory techniques or PMR. If it's more in your head, racing thoughts, worries, perhaps breathwork or visualization might be a better starting point.
Tailor it to your experience.
Yes, and be flexible. What works one day might not work the next. What works at home might not be suitable for work. The real key is consistency in trying, and self-awareness, noticing what helps you right now.
Start simple, experiment, listen to yourself.
Got it. And one last clarification. How does grounding relate to mindfulness? People often talk about them together. Are they the same thing?
That's a great distinction to make. They're definitely related, but they serve slightly different primary functions. Think of grounding as a specific, action-oriented technique designed for immediate relief from anxiety or overwhelm.
The first aid kit.
Kind of, yeah. It's a targeted intervention to pull you back to the present when you're already feeling distressed. Mindfulness, on the other hand, is a much broader, ongoing practice. It's about cultivating a sustained, non-judgmental awareness of whatever is happening in the present moment, thoughts, feelings, sensations, your surroundings over time.
More like prevention and general well-being.
Exactly. Mindfulness is like building the robust fire prevention system for your overall mental state. Grounding techniques are actually a very effective, fast-acting application of mindfulness principles, specifically for anxiety. So grounding gives you immediate relief, while mindfulness builds that sustained presence and awareness long-term. That clarifies it beautifully. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, it's really clear that these grounding techniques, they're safe, they're accessible, and they can be incredibly effective. So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, these aren't just quick fixes. They're genuine tools you can use to build a calmer, more connected, more resilient way of navigating life. We've unpacked the how and the why.
Hopefully demystify them a bit.
Now, the invitation is really for you to experiment. Try a few out, see what resonates, what feels right for you. Think of it as adding some powerful new tools to your personal mental health toolkit.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture one last time, remember that by practicing these techniques regularly, you're doing more than just managing difficult moments. You're actively retraining your nervous system. You're teaching it to respond more calmly and effectively to stress down the road. You're building genuine mental resilience.
A powerful final thought.
So maybe consider this. How might just 1 minute of intentional presence woven into your daily rhythm, maybe truly tasting your morning coffee, feeling your feet on the floor before a meeting, taking just 3 conscious breaths, how might that small anchor, practice consistently, subtly shift your entire perspective on handling whatever life throws your way? What small anchor can you introduce, maybe even today, to start building that long-term calm within yourself?
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.